I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, all the drivers take to the grid, and here we go. AJ Gotzi and Michael Whiting have the front row. Jeff Hinkle and the Mark Nelson on the second row. Harley Barletta, Richie West on the third row. Kevin Reed and Donald Durant on the fourth row. Gerald Thanos Poole and DJ the Iceman Kenner round out the top 10. Mark Dantuma starts in 11th for the From the Back Challenge. Rick Gotzi saying AJ is going to pull it off here tonight, although I think AJ's dad may be a little biased, but this would be the first time in BRR history for a driver to go back-to-back championships. AJ's still the most winningest driver in BRR history as the drivers roll off to start the race. We mentioned Mark Dantuma doing that From the Back Challenge. He has not qualified all season long, and every car he has passed, he's going to donate $1 after tonight's race to our MS Society fundraiser. You can find that link on our Facebook page. It is in the pinned post. We'll also be giving away some iRacing memberships. Along with that, we've got 5 new memberships to give away this year. Might just give one away this week. Who knows? I do believe that is like 290 plus right now is how much Mark Dantuma has raised. How much higher will it get tonight? The drivers will go on the drop of the green. After that, it will be at the controlled by the leader. Pace car is in. The season finale is here.
Here we go, green flag, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
And they are off down toward turn 1, side by side. The Mark Nelson gets to the bottom line very quickly into 1 and a lot of sliding. Cold tires, not a ton of grip. They do have the high downforce package on the cars tonight. Jeff Hinkle moving up to second, gets past Michael Whiting. Whiting had a bit of a run, almost had a problem there. Harley Barletta going way up by the wall as he gets a little bit loose there. Out of turn 2, down the back straightaway. He's got a run on Michael Whiting. Mark Dantuma coming from the back, already up into 9th place. And 3 wide back behind. Kevin Reed is in the outside wall. No caution yet. Kevin Reed is still rolling. We will not see a caution here. Let's take another look at this incident. Richie West gets underneath Kevin and boom, boom.
Honestly, what are we doing? Racing or ping pong?
Apparently they're playing ping pong. Harley Barletta has slipped up to the lead past AJ. AJ still holds on to second. Jeff Hinkle in third. Michael Whiting in fourth. The Mark Nelson now in fifth. Richie West holding on to 6th. Gerald Thanos Poole in 7th. Mark Dantuma now up to 8th. Donald Durant's in 9th. The Iceman currently in 10th. Kevin Reed back in 11th. Try and get a closer look on Reed's car. I'm willing to bet the right side of that thing is a bit tore up. Hey, good evening, Kevin. Yeah, it does look like Kevin Reed's right side is a little banged up. He'll have to get some repairs on their competition caution lap 40 tonight. And because of the fuel window tonight, it is anywhere from 52 to 58 laps. They will require a pit stop in the second part of this race, but they'll have a wide selection of when the drivers can make the stops. And in talking to a lot of the drivers during pre-race, there is going to be a lot of different strategies played out here tonight. AJ looking back underneath Harley. Yeet indeed, Kevin. Speaking of people named Kevin, Kevin Reed, despite the damage and that hard impact to the wall, has started moving again. Back past Donald Durant's into 10th, trying to close the gap on the Iceman. Oh, and Mark Dantuma from the back, currently in 7th. If Dantuma had been running for this championship and qualified in every race, I have to think that he and AJ would be battling for this title here tonight, and Mark Dantuma would likely have a bunch more wins. Hey, have a good night, Richie. Look forward to seeing you back tomorrow, buddy. Jeff Hinkle starting to look under AJ. Kevin, you might ought to take it a little slow there, buddy, as AJ goes back for the lead down into 1. Hinkle now looking underneath Barletta for second place. Did Barletta use up his tires getting to the lead? Michael Whiting will try and slip through the door to take third. This is allowing Mark Nelson, Mark Dantuma, Richie West, and Gerald Poole to close some of that gap. Barletta managing to hold Hinkle off for the moment. Hinkle now looking back underneath. He's got a big run and a big push from Michael Whiting. But the Mark Nelson is closing rapidly. No, that is a plus, buddy. Harley Barletta slips back to third. Now Michael Whiting looking up above. Meanwhile, Mark Nelson and crew are closing in. AJ Gotzi now back in the lead, just wants to maintain. If he can keep that car out front, actually, if he can keep that car pretty much in the top 5, regardless of what Mark Nelson does, AJ Gotzi will pull off the championship again. Jeff Hinkle battling with Harley Barletta hard for second place. Michael Whiting right behind him. And now Mark Nelson is almost there. Dan Tuma right behind in 6th. Richie West in 7th. Gerald Poole now in 8th. The Iceman back in 9th. Donald Durant's in 10th. Kevin Reed has lost some speed due to that damage. Michael Whiting on the attack for 3rd. Oh, a little bit of a push through the turn. Whiting had to get out of the gas on that run. Started to push up. Hey, Kenny. A lot of the drivers talking about the car tonight, getting that push in dirty air in the draft. Aero push has been a big problem for these cars. In turns 3 and 4, you're heading into the wind, and it makes that push even worse. The top 5, back nose to tail. Mark Dantuma 6th, Richie West 7th, Gerald Thanos Poole in 8th, lurking right outside the top 5. AJ continuing to hold the lead, has only had a few laps where he hasn't. Hinkle keeps looking under Barletta. Whiting keeps trying to get around Hinkle, and that has allowed Mark Nelson to get there. Mark Dantuma, Richie West, and Gerald Poole not far behind, closing the gap. Iceman back in 9th. Donald Durant holds on to 10th, and Kevin Reed in 11th. Barney the Flagman has a great seat for this race. Right there above the front straightaway, as Mark Nelson now has a run underneath Jeff Hinkle. Dan Tuma and crew now just 1 1/4 seconds back. Whoa! Michael Whiting slides right behind Harley Barletta. A very close call there. Whiting looking for a win here tonight, not in playoff contention, looking for his 2nd win of the season, and he is pushing harder than I have ever seen him. I guess Michael Whiting decided to come out and go full send all night tonight. Gerald Poole back there in 8th, still staying with Richie West and Mark Dantuma. That car powered by Navy Joe Coffee. Don't forget to check out Navy Joe Coffee on the internet and on Facebook. And if you like it, a veteran-owned company, you can get a discount using our code NavyJoe. 10% off your order. Michael Whiting now in 3rd, Hinkle in 4th. Nelson in 5th has been unable to get around Hinkle. May have a run up top now. Oh, close call between Michael Whiting and Harley Barletta. Might have been a little contact coming out of turn 2. Now Whiting has a run down to the bottom. And it looks like Mark Nelson has a run up top on Jeff Hinkle. Surprised to see anybody passing Jeff Hinkle on a long run. He is the king of tire saving and usually the guy making the moves late in the run. Tire wear is starting to show quite dramatically last time by. AJ Godsey's fastest lap of 29.5 last time by, 31.4, almost a full 2 seconds off the fresh tire pace. Jeff Hinkle still holds on in 5th. Richie West and Mark Dantuma starting to close. Richie making some moves. Donald Durance has already gone to pit road. This is an unscheduled stop. They can make it to the competition caution on lap 40 with their fuel load. Durance on his way out for fresh tires. AJ out front, Harley in 2nd. The battle is on for 3rd as Michael Whiting, Jeff Hinkle, and Mark Nelson continue to swap spots back and forth, but Nelson now up into 3rd, battling with Whiting for that position. AJ starting to get a little bit of breathing room between him and Barletta. Michael Whiting finally gets back to 3rd place and holds on to it. Now looks underneath Harley. Mark Nelson, Jeff Hinkle lurking. Looks like Mark Dantuma may have used his tires up, charging through the field. He has dropped back, hanging out in the draft in 8th. Oh, Donald Durance is out there for fresh tires, but got a little loose on those cold tires. Once he gets some heat in him, he'll be faster than all the cars closing up behind him. The cold tires here, it does get a bit sketchy. That battle for 2nd on back just keeps heating up. All 4 drivers here keep swapping lines. Everybody trying a different line here as the tires wear. The aero push is getting worse. Hey, good evening, Tanya. It has been a while. How have you been? Richie now up into 6th, 3 1/4 seconds back as Mark Nelson makes the move, this time to the high side on Michael Whiting. Whiting gets a little bit of a push out of turn 2. That may be enough. Mark finally completes the pass. 7 laps away from the comp caution. AJ Godsey has led the most laps so far as Mark Nelson makes a move underneath for 2nd. We are doing great, Tanya. You, me, and Richie need to play some zombies soon. in turn 2. Caution. First caution of the night, lap 34. And this may turn out to be the caution. We'll talk to race control here in a moment. Let's see what happened. Oh, looked like Donald Durant was still a bit loose on those tires. Donald was loose, gets into the wall, comes down, collects Barletta. Both drivers will keep going. Everybody else makes it through clean. Hey, thank you so much for the stars. Tanya, appreciate it. And here they come down pit road. Yeah, Kevin, I can only imagine. Kevin Reed staying out. He will get waved back to the lead lap. It looks like Donald Durant will likely have to come down pit road for some repairs. And let's see if we can talk to the First Lady of BRR and our race control. Nicole, it's been a wild season that comes down to this.
Yes, it has been.
I have to ask, first off, is this going to be considered the comp caution?
Yes, it is.
Well, good deal. So they're going to race it out from here. We know that fuel and tire strategy is going to be a big deal, but have to talk about you for a minute. You've had a busy season keeping everybody in line out here.
I try to. Sometimes it just doesn't work.
Well, I have to say, it has been awesome for you to give your time to hop out of the car, hop into race control, and I know for everybody in the league, huge thanks to you for everything you have done this season. I know at times it has been a bit bumpy, but you have done an amazing job.
Well, thanks, Doug. You do a good job yourself. I
Well,
appreciate you.
thank you so much, and good luck with the rest of this one. Who's your pick for victory lane tonight?
I want to say it's probably going to be AJ, but I kind of want Jeff Hinkle to win.
Would be good. We have not seen Hinkle in victory lane all season, so he is a bit overdue.
I think he's due for one.
Well, man, great job this season. Good luck with the rest of the night.
All right, thanks, Doug.
There you have it, the First Lady of BRR. Huge shout out to her for everything she does. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel, don't forget, you can catch her Sunday mornings during GT3 NSS. She is turning into quite the road racer. AJ Godsey comes off pit road with the lead. Mark Nelson in second, Michael Whiting in third, Jeff Hinkle in fourth. Richie West now up into fifth. Gerald Poole, Mark Dantuma, DJ Kenner, Harley Barletta, and Kevin Reed back in the mix. Your top 10, Donald Durant appears to be out of the race in 11th. Now, what do you say, since they're getting ready for the restart, and it likely could be the only restart of the evening, we get a little bit loud for the season finale here. So when the green flag drops, we will shut up and you guys crank up the volume. Time to get... Good call, Kevin. Folks, crank up the volume and get ready. When the green drops, we will stop talking. We will crank it up. Y'all enjoy the noise. All that horsepower, 10 cars back in the fight. And the two championship contenders on the front row for this restart. Anything could happen here. Here we go. Pace car is in. They fire. Green is in the air. Crank it up, folks. Back underway, and AJ Godsey quickly back into the lead. Mark Nelson, Michael Whiting battling for second. Harley Barletta. Harley is on a charge on the high side after being caught up in that incident. Has fought his way all the way back to fourth. He has flown back through this field. Side by side battling Michael Whiting for third. It is side by side back behind him as Gerald Poole starting to make a move himself. Jeff Hinkle still lurking there, and as this race drags on, we're likely to see Hinkle making moves before green flag stops. Whoa! Harley makes a power move down to the bottom underneath the Mark Nelson. Harley Barletta to second. But the BRR GOAT still out front, AJ Godsey. Jeff Hinkle starting to make some moves toward the front now. Currently in fifth. Looks underneath Whiting. Richie West right behind in sixth. Richie lost some ground in the early going of this race, but has fought his way back. Wow. Hinkle and Whiting close off of turn 4. These guys are driving right to the absolute limits tonight. Harley Barletta still looking for a way past AJ Godsey. Mark Nelson lurking in third. And Harley's got to run as they go off into one. Harley's got a big run as they come out of turn 2. Barletta to the lead. AJ now to second, Mark Nelson in third. The whole pack all together. The entire field under a blanket, less than 1 second apart. Michael Whiting now battling with Richie West. Kevin Reed, who got damaged early in the race, now back in the fight. I think they forgot they were at Charlotte. They're thinking it's Daytona, and they are going for it. AJ looking back underneath. Harley Barletta for the lead. And what a comeback it has been for Barletta. Quickly to the lead after the comp caution. Kevin Reed also charging back. Reed has yet to have a win in BRR competition, but with the comeback run he is having so far tonight, could tonight be the night? AJ Godsey slips by Harley, back to the lead. Now the Mark Nelson looking underneath. Jeff Hinkle lurking right behind. A big run by Nelson as they head off into 1. That outside line does seem to be the place to be to carry the momentum, but it's harder at times on the tires here, especially fighting that push. That's pretty funny, Kevin. Richie West lost some momentum, has dropped back to the tail end. Mark Dantuma, as he continues his from the back challenge, is now up into 6th. I do believe by the end of this season that donation is going to be over $300 to our MS Society fundraiser. You guys definitely need to check that out. It is pinned on our Facebook page, and yes, we are giving away 5 new iRacing memberships this year as part of that fundraiser. Harley Barletta slipping by into 2nd. Kevin Reed trying to make a move up top for 3rd. AJ Godsey able to use the entire track right now, maybe helping him conserve tires for the long run, while everybody else has been battling it out. Harley Barletta has a little bit of a breathing room right now. Kevin Reed and Mark Nelson continue to battle side by side for 3rd. Mark Dantuma right behind in 5th. Jeff Hinkle coming back into the mix though. Gerald Poole back in the mix. Richie West is starting to pull back for. Oh, Gerald's in the wall. Just gave the wall a little bit of a kiss, but saves it and keeps moving. Yeah, that was nice of him, Kevin, but wow. Harley Barletta giving AJ a big push off into 3. Mark Nelson looking underneath once again. Kevin Reed still lurking at 4th, and Dan Tuma now looking underneath. The only way for Mark Nelson to win the championship here tonight is for him to finish the race and AJ finish 8th or worse. I don't see AJ having any problems here tonight with that 8th place finish. Mark Dantuma currently sitting in 6th, trying to make his way forward. Right behind him, a guy who's quietly been out of trouble, was battling for the truck championship last night. DJ the Iceman Kenner. Kenner still within striking distance of this entire field. Don't count him out till the final lap. AJ starts to pull away little by little, then the field gets single file, reels him back in, and begins battling again. This has played out multiple times so far tonight. And next time by, we will... Oh, Kevin Reed kisses the wall. Next time by, we will actually be within range. Some of these drivers could make their pit stops. Unlikely to see anybody short pit by that much right now. Mark Nelson looking back underneath Harley Barletta for 2nd. Jeff Hinkle now to 3rd. Kevin Reed holds on to 4th, battling with Hinkle. Dan Tuma right behind, currently in 6th. Michael Whiting in 7th. DJ Kenner on the high side of Michael Whiting. Big push from Richie West. There has not been a moment of calm in this race yet for anybody but AJ. He now has a 7/10 of a second lead over Mark Nelson. Jeff Hinkle back to the bottom, looks underneath Dan Tuma, clears, and gets underneath Kevin Reed out of 4. Hey, good evening, Martin. Going good. How did your bowling game go? AJ's lead is to caution. Caution is out. Lap 65. everybody should be able to go the distance from here on fuel. The Iceman side by side with Richie West, and looks like they just ran out of real estate. Looking down from the blimp, you see how close they are. DJ comes down, Richie goes up, they meet in the middle. Fortunately, the Iceman able to keep the car out of any trouble. And everybody heads to pit road. This could be the final stop. AJ Gotze leads them down. All drivers, 4 tires and fuel. AJ comes back out with the lead. Mark Nelson coming back out in second. Barletta in third. Kevin Reed in fourth. Dan Tuma in fifth. Michael Whiting, Jeff Hinkle, Richie West, Gerald Poole, DJ Kenner round out the top 10. We were seeing the field spread out just a hair. They had all been under about a 1 second blanket for 20 plus laps. They had spread out to everybody within about 3 seconds right before that caution. Now they're all going to be back under the blanket, and man, it's gonna get spicy. Lights go out on the pace car. Just over 50 laps to go. When the green drops, all the drivers should be able to go the distance on fuel from here. This may come down to who has the most tires left at the end of the race. If that is the case, the driver to watch is the 23 of Jeff Hinkle, starting back in 7th. Pace car is back in. AJ Gotze in control of the restart. He is in the zone. AJ fires. They are away. Green flag back in the air. AJ gets a good push from Harley Barletta. Clears into first. Mark Nelson on the high side, losing some ground on the restart as Dan Tuma now moves into third. Jeff Hinkle still hanging out down on the bottom, trying to get past Kevin Reed. Mark Nelson slides down into fourth. Harley Barletta makes his move on the high side and goes back to the lead. Dan Tuma on the attack. Dan Tuma gets the run out of 2, and Mark Nelson looks to the high side. Mark Nelson, one of the 2 championship contenders here tonight, but remember, the only way Mark Nelson can win the championship is to win the race, and AJ finished 8th or worse. All AJ has to do is either make sure Mark Nelson does not win or finish right behind him, as Kevin Reed has a big run. Through 3 and 4, Kevin Reed got a huge run. He is coming. Kevin Reed shoots all the way into 4th place. And now to 3rd place for Kevin Reed. And Mark Dantuma has taken the lead. AJ Godsey, defending champ and current points leader, now back in 5th place. Richie West lost some ground on the restart, now way behind the field. He really needs a caution. You gotta hand it to Dan Tuma all season long. He has started from the back and said at the start of the season, for every car he passed, he would donate $1 to our MS Society fundraiser. He's pulled off 2 wins already this season and passed somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 cars. Harley Barletta looking to the high side. Kevin Reed has a run again. Barletta back to the lead. Reed into 2nd. Mark Nelson in 4th. Now looking under Mark the Man Dan Tuma. And Kevin Reed is on the attack. He wants to lead tonight at Charlotte. Could it finally be Kevin Reed's night to go to victory lane? It would be a long overdue win. Harley Barletta giving him a challenge up there on the high side. That high side has been the best line to be in from what we have seen all night long. And Kevin Reed securely in the lead now. Big push from Harley Barletta into 1. Now Barletta looks low. Dan Tuma has 3rd as AJ and Mark Nelson battle for 4th. The Iceman and Mike Whiting right behind. Gerald Poole and Jeff Hinkle lurking. Hinkle has not gotten involved in any battles since that last restart. And it is likely Hinkle is doing Hinkle things, saving his tires, and will come through this field when the time is right. And Harley Barletta thinks the time is right. He is going for the lead. Dan Tuma gets a run once again up top. They are battling like it's the last lap throughout this field. Points leader AJ Godsey in 5th. Just keeping his eye on Mark Nelson. That is all he has to do tonight. Harley looks underneath but can't complete the pass for the lead. Kevin Reed is out front. Dan Tuma lurking in 3rd. Here comes Michael Whiting. AJ starting to get a run down on the bottom now. Harley Barletta finally slips back by Kevin Reed, reclaims the lead. Kevin looks back to the bottom. Not enough that time by, but meanwhile AJ back on the attack, battling with Dan Tuma for 3rd. This is still very much anybody's race. Barletta out front, AJ on the bottom trying to take 2nd from Kevin Reed. Reed now in 3rd, battling with Michael Whiting. They are stacked up side by side. The top 2 have some breathing room for the moment. But it won't last long. Michael Whiting clears traffic now into 3rd. Jeff Hinkle starting to look low under Mark Nelson. Could this be the start of Hinkle moving toward the front? He's got a run, clears Nelson, now under Dan Tuma. Mark Nelson drops to the bottom line right behind Hinkle, tries to give him a push. And Hinkle now looks underneath Kevin Reed as he marches forward. Harley Barletta battling it out with AJ for the lead. And out of nowhere, the Iceman now into 4th. DJ the Iceman Kenner now in 4th, making his way forward. He kept it clean, had that problem, got the tap, got spun. But since the green flag on the restart, quietly hung out and picked them off one at a time. And look at this, Hinkle now to 5th. AJ and Harley side by side. Michael Whiting, DJ Kenner, Jeff Hinkle, single file for the moment. Mark Nelson back in 6th. Kevin Reed dropping to 7th. Dan Tuma in 8th. Gerald Poole in 9th. Richie West lost the lead pack on that last restart back in 10th. And make sure you're following. We will have the announcements about the upcoming recruitment races. There will be 3 recruitment races for BRR over the next few weeks. And then a new season begins. Michael Whiting now looks to the high side for 2nd. Jeff Hinkle is there. DJ Kenner is there. Mark Nelson is back in the picture. And Michael Whiting has a run down to the bottom. Can he get to the lead? That high line just has so much momentum out here tonight. Michael Whiting trying to hold on in second. AJ right above him, trying to defend that position and get a run to the lead. Now Jeff Hinkle looks underneath AJ. Harley Barletta back in front, AJ back to second, Whiting still holds third. Hinkle now battling with Mark Nelson. As they run right now, AJ will win the championship and go back-to-back championships for the first time in BRR history. But it ain't over yet, as here comes Whiting once again. And AJ just huge run. Out of turn two, Godsey back to the lead. We saw him drop back on that restart. Looks like he was just saving a little something. And at 25 to go, he decided it was time for him to go. Michael Whiting trying to get a run on Barletta. Jeff Hinkle now starting to build a run as well on the bottom. Mark Nelson on the high side. DJ Kenner still lurking in sixth. Mark Dantuma right behind him in seventh. Gerald Poole in eighth. Kevin Reed back in ninth. They should all be good to go on fuel. Michael Whiting looks for the lead on AJ out of 4. He's got to run down the front straightaway. Into turn 1, Whiting has the nose ahead, but the momentum goes to the outside. AJ clears back into the lead. Holy cow, what a race this has been. Almost everybody in the field has led here tonight at some point. It has been fighting and positions changing every single lap. Things got a little close there between Hinkle and Barletta. Now Jeff Hinkle coming alive. We said early in this run, Jeff Hinkle, the king of tire saving, he hung out at the back. Didn't fight, didn't try and make his way forward, just stayed in the lead pack took it easy and conserved those tires. Now he's on the attack. Michael Whiting looking back underneath out of turn 4. He's got a bigger run this time. Whiting leads at the line this time by 20 to go. The real question is going to be, will anybody have any tires left at the end of this race? Back across the line, AJ and Whiting side by side. AJ has it by just a couple hundredths of a second. Jeff Hinkle, Mark Nelson lurking right behind Harley Barletta, still in the top 5. Don't forget, Mark Nelson, Mark Dantuma, DJ Kenner, still lurking. Gerald Poole in 8th, now out of the lead draft. Kevin Reed in 9th, and Richie West in 10th. Richie lost that lead draft early, had been a contender throughout this race until he did. Now Jeff Hinkle up into 2nd. Harley starting to move back to the front, up on the high side. Mark Nelson, a big slingshot out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Nelson starting to get a run. Gerald Poole has gone to pit road. He has had a problem back behind. Gerald gets the wall hard out of 4. Tries to save it. Gets it down into the grass to prevent the caution, but an end to Thanos' race and season. AJ has a half-second lead now over Jeff Hinkle, Michael Whiting, and Mark Nelson. "13 laps ago at Charlotte. 13 laps left in the season. Michael Whiting making a run on the high side. Back into 2nd place. Hinkle into 3rd. Mark Nelson currently running in 4th. Richie West has caught and passed Kevin Reed, making his way back into 8th. Will not be able to catch 7th place DJ Kenner. But you got to give it to Rich. He lost the draft early on, has not stopped fighting. 11 to go. Hinkle fighting Whiting on the bottom. Little bobbles coming out of 4. The tires really starting to get worn. 10 laps to go. AJ out front, but no room to breathe. Michael Whiting in second. Yeah, Gerald, that was an oops, buddy. Michael Whiting has a run down on the bottom out of turn 4. AJ pulls through on the high side. Now Mark Nelson looks for second. A whole season comes down to the next 9 laps. The top 2 in points leading the race. Mark Nelson looks underneath Godsey for the lead. AJ leads it at the line, but by only 100th of a second. Mark pushing back on the bottom. Hinkle on the back bumper of AJ, helping him get down the back straightaway. AJ clears back into the lead. Almost 3 wide out of 4. 7 to go. Michael Whiting and Jeff Hinkle also in this lead mix. Harley Barletta trying to close back in. Out of turn 4, we knew Hinkle had been conserving. Now Jeff Hinkle goes for the lead. And he will have the lead at the line. Mark Nelson underneath AJ now for second place. Jeff Hinkle has yet to win this season. Might actually be his first winless season so far in BRR competition. And the beautiful unicorn cheering on the Mark Nelson in third. Mark looks back under AJ. But that high line has just been dominant here tonight. They are trying to get 3 wide for second place. Mark Nelson gets a run. 4 laps to go for Jeff Hinkle. And as they run, AJ will be the champ. Mark Nelson not giving up yet, sends it deep on the high side. Not enough grip or momentum yet. 3 to go. Michael Whiting, AJ Godsey battling it out for third. Hinkle was conserving early and it paid off. But Mark Nelson gets another big run. Gets that big run on quarter entry, cannot keep it down through the middle. 2 to go. Down the back straightaway, Hinkle is driving in his mirror as much as he is the window. Mark looks up on the high side. Oh, Mark kissed the wall. White flag is in the air. One more time around for Jeff Hinkle. Points leader AJ Godsey back and forth. Michael Whiting now in third. The battle is on for the win. Into 3 and 4. Mark makes one more desperate send into 3. And it will not be enough. Jeff Hinkle will win at Charlotte. And AJ Godsey will come home the champ. What a race. What a finale. Let's start by talking to our new champ. AJ, come home fourth, but you're the champ once again.
Yeah, it was tough out there, man. It was hard racing, white knuckle the whole time, and I had about 2 laps to the good on fuel, and my tires are bad, so no reason to try to race those guys real hard and hold them up there. I just fell back to fourth and brought her home.
Well, it definitely worked, and the first time ever in BRR that we've had a back-to-back championship. You definitely earned it tonight, buddy. Great job.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Thanks for all you do.
My pleasure. Let's talk to our top 3 finishers, starting with Michael Whiting. Michael, front, back, side, back, forward. I mean, all night, all over the place.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was crazy.
One of the wildest races we've ever seen at Charlotte by a lot, man. But great job coming home with the podium. That had to have been a workout.
Yeah, we were having a ball out there. It was really enjoyable. Congratulations, AJ, for winning it all here this year. He's tough.
It definitely is. Great job, and looking forward to next season, buddy. Michael Whiting comes home third. Mark Nelson comes home second in points and in the race. Mark, you gave it everything you had in that last few laps. We could tell you were just sending it for everything it had to try and get to victory lane.
Yeah, that about sums it up. I almost had it with 4 to go, and the car just wasn't underneath of me like I needed it to, and I kind of feel like that was my shot, and I just couldn't get back to that same position in the last 3 laps. So, yeah, it's a bummer. I'd love to win here in BRR, but it was still a good race, so I'll take it.
Well, man, a great job, an awesome season. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Doug. It's been fun.
The Mark Nelson comes home in second, and finally, the race winner. Long overdue. Jeff, it has been a while, and if I was looking at my notes, I think if you had not pulled off the win tonight, this would have been the first season you ever didn't have a win.
Ah, okay. Well, that's good to know. It's not. At least I got it there at the last.
Yes, you did.
Last race.
I'm gonna have to double check, but I'm pretty sure every season thus far since you started, you have won at least one race. And man, it was obvious on that last restart you didn't push the issue for about 10 or 15 laps, but you could definitely tell the moment you started moving forward.
Yeah, we got into a fuel issue there, and so we were talking about it in our chat there. Hey, we've got to have to save a little fuel for that last little bit. And once I got about 3 extra laps in there, I thought I could go for it. So started moving through the field then. But it was tough. It was really tough to pass.
It looked tough to pass, but it also looked extremely exciting. You get a run, you fly by somebody, you'd be back a few spots in the next lap, and it was just constant lane changes, battling, and position changes.
Sounds like it made your job fun.
Well, great job, man. A great win, long overdue. Congratulations, Jeff.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Thanks for the job you do.
My pleasure. Wow, what a night of racing, guys. Thank you so much. More racing to come. Jones BS Racing tomorrow night. Tuesday night, XCal is back. Wednesday night, the Nowski Nation returns with a special guest driver. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did with that awesome race. Have a great night, everybody.